Hey, I got a light, boy. Hey, I got a light. Hey, I got a light, boy.
Well, hello everybody, Norfolk Boy here, keep on a Troschen. If you'd like to know what Troschen actually means, it actually means threshing, which is something they do with corn and other crops in Norfolk. Also, it can be used to say goodbye in Norfolk, so there you go, there's a little bit of useless information for you. Other than that, let's move on to what I haven't been doing for an extremely long time, and that's actually making a video of something else I'm doing with my model railway, the making of. So the next thing I'm going to do, even though I promised myself I would finish some of the projects I'd already started before, but I'm not doing that, and that's typical of me. But then I feel that making a model railway, you just can do whatever you like when you like, so that's what I'm going to do. So over here, amongst all the mayhem I do have, without moving any of that, 'cause I'm trying to fix at some point, I have a hatch, which is great for lifting and obviously getting to some of these far-reaching places. And what I want to do there is build the Hatch Holiday Park. Oh yes, the campsite. That's what I'm going to do next. And I've started the project here first with a board that actually fits almost across that hatch. And I'm going to mark out on this board, which has got a base so far at the moment, which is some of this sort of grass looking effect. I'm going to mark out exactly how I want my campsite to be, or you know, what I want it to look like, what kind of shape and everything. And in this here box I have what I bought a long time ago actually. Well, I think my wife bought me it actually for a Christmas present, and it's a camping set which came in a box with the lid on that kind of looked like that, and they're all the little bits and pieces that you've got. Although I have created tents of my own on this strange object here that I did make a video of at one time, and said I was going to do another video but didn't, on getting one of these and how you use it. But anyway, maybe I will do it one day. Here it all is anyway. So I want to make a campsite. I've got all these lovely things in this box here. There's a bag full of goodies there to put together, so it's almost like doing models as well. There's some tents. Feeling a bit tense today, haha. There we are. Yeah, and well, that looks like the yeah, that's going to be the area where everybody goes and pays for their holiday. Yeah, and here's a few figures that I did a while ago now, I do believe. There's somebody with a surfboard. God knows what to do with a surfboard on a holiday park, but there's a young lady having a nice sunbathe. There's a chap meditating. I used to do a lot of these and sell them on eBay, and sold quite a few actually. But they're very, very long-winded to do and to make, and I do them on this. It's not really designed to make things that small, but I managed to get it to do it. So one day I will try and explain how I did. But these things are quite temperamental and also quite painful to use sometimes. There's been certain things that I've actually printed out on this to actually fix the thing. Along here, this has been done on itself to fix a problem that I had here in the pipeline that the plastic goes through. But anyway, this is what I'm going to be doing next. This is my project, so here we go. I'm going to begin. Before I do begin though, this was actually purchased, I do believe, on eBay, but you can get it, as far as I know, on Amazon as well. Great little kit with lots and lots of bits and pieces in. I think it was around about 20 odd pounds. Sometimes you just got to splash out for some good stuff. First things first, really, I'm just going to lay this on here to remember. I did cut it to size to go across here, sort of. There, that's what I mean. I've got lots and lots of trees and bushes that I can use, that I'll be able to use to go around the edges, and there's fence, and then there's stuff like that. So I just want to draw out now exactly what I want to do. As this is a hatch, I'll want this to be, I think, around about here, so that when it lifts up, nothing's going to get that's a little bit high or get damaged over there when it gets opened right up. So all this stuff should just open up. So yeah, that's the plan anyway. Road, I was going to have a road coming along here over that piece of track and somewhere around here, so I'm going to have to try and work out exactly how I'm going to do that, because there's going to be another bridge there somewhere where this needs to be out of the way. Yes, somewhere over there that goes over there, and then, you know, drives along into this piece of countryside that the holiday camp will be in. This is not a huge layout, so, you know, it's not going to be great to scale, is it really? But there we are. This is the town. There's another little place over there. This is Baslington, yeah, and that one's Bertie Field, named after my wife's bears. I could even say my bears, really, because I love them. And yeah, and so this is going to be the Hatch campsite. So okay, I'm going to figure out now, maybe by penciling a little bit, exactly what I want to do here. So moving on. By the way, when I said my wife's bears, I do mean her teddy bears. Don't put anything else into that. I forgot about this. When I first got my 3D printer, I decided to print out, well, this came off of a site already set up to put onto the 3D printer so that I could create it, and it's an old pooper. I was really looking forward to using this somewhere along the line. So yep, it's a really old rotten wooden pooper, so I must admit I'm really looking forward to putting that somewhere in the campsite. Magic stuff. So I'm going to start by just having a look at the instructions here, and boy, does it look a little bit complicated. I mean, there's the old-fashioned picture on the back of what the campsite may look like, although I'm going to do my own thing, obviously. There we are. When you look at the instructions, this is all the bits and pieces, and most of it is in gobbledygook that I don't understand, unfortunately. Wish I learned how to read and speak other languages, but I never have, so there we are. Any old ways up, there is a little bit of English on some of this other stuff in here, but the pictures kind of give it away what you're supposed to be doing anyway. So I've got some of this glue here that I used to use for my modelling, so that's going to come in handy to put these bits and pieces together. There's other various things you may need, like a crafting knife, a pair of scissors and that kind of thing, brush. All these things will have to be painted, but here they all are. I'm going to have to study them all. There we are. And here's on the back, they're all the bits I should have. Yep, I'm just going to get on with it. But obviously you've got little transfers as well to put on the hut, and other bits and pieces. Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing this, I must admit. So let's do it. So as usual, I didn't stay true to my word and marked anything out like I said I was going to. I just made it up as I went along. So here I'm just starting with some bushes and then going on from there. That's the fun of it, really, just to make things up as you go along. So just a little bit of glue, and I think this stuff that I'm using here for bushes or foliage or whatever you want to call it, I actually found in the range. You can buy this stuff that's normally for putting in pots, I think, for pretend flowers. I'm not really sure, but I thought, oh, that looks pretty good. It was so cheap, I think about $2.99 or something like that for quite a lot of it, that I thought that would come in handy. So yeah, bought some of this stuff and just sticking some glue down here and shoving it all in. Great fun. So yeah, making all this up as I go along, sticking these bushes in to start with into the back corners of my campsite. And here I'm now building the first little hut, which I do believe is going to be the hut for the people to pay their money for their pitch as they come in. So that's grand. And here it is, pretty much finished. So I may paint this or make it look a bit more weathered. So I'm kind of making all this up as I go along, so I'm putting some bushes and some trees in everywhere. I've actually glued in place now my old pooper, which is up in the corner there. These are tents that I actually did a long while ago. I was selling these actually on eBay using this thing, which went wrong the other day and I had to pull the pieces and get going again, but got it going anyway. So yeah, there's a few more here. So I did this one, whoops, which is a little bit different. Just an ordinary one there with the opening, and a slightly bigger tent there, and this little one with a man's legs hanging out of the tent front. Yeah, so I'm just making it up as I say, as I go along. I'll put a picket fence along there, and a little bit more of a fence along there, but I'm mainly putting bushes along the edges and the sides. So this will be the main camping area. I've got many bits and pieces to put on there to make it all look like there's a lot happening. At the back here is going to be a little bit more of a private place. I've got some, well, I'll probably use the same grip that's used here for a little roadway that will run along here. Yeah, it's just all great fun. All it is just to have fun, I think, and just make it up as you go along. I can't see why there has to be any rules when you do these kind of things. So yeah, I'm going to carry on. I will video some of what I'm doing, but really, like I say, this is all just sheer and utter fun. Of course, not everybody's got one of these 3D printers and could be bothered with them, and I wouldn't blame you if you couldn't. But you can get all sorts of things like this, and I'll probably do some more printing out at some point and sticking some on eBay very cheap to buy. But there's so many different tents that you can get. Also the ones included with that box that I show you with all the models in, that you can get for about 20 odd quid with everything in it, you know, which I haven't even put together yet. These are just ones that I made a while ago, and I may use them or I may not. I'll see as I go along. It's a big enough campsite, but when you've got a few tents in, it's going to take up a fair bit of room really, but never mind. Let's face it, when you go to a campsite, 9 times out of 10 they stick everybody very close together. So, well, on some campsites anyway. So yeah, having fun with this. This is what it's all about. Okay, so I'm having fun here, putting trees in and adding tents that I've done myself. And I don't want to make this video too much longer, so I'm going to finish it here for the time being and carry on video and bits and pieces of what I'm doing with all of this, and make another video later. But in the meantime, I just thought I'd mention that you probably noticed in the video that I had a fire station, but it lost its colour and it looked awful. That's because sometimes when you make your own models, if you use the wrong kind of, I suppose, card, or if you print them out with the wrong ink, the ink weren't all that great, sometimes you get colour loss. The colour turns kind of a pinky colour, which you probably noticed. You can stop this by using hair lacquer, funnily enough. I think my Frying Tonight has probably lost its colour a tiny bit, but not much. But I'm going to spray that. I think that will darken it up again. But yeah, that's one way of doing it. This never really lost its colour. I had no idea why the fire station suffered so much, but I don't have any light coming into the into this place very much. Only that tiny little window there that I have curtains up. So very strange. But I must admit, that is a little tip really. If you create your own models, making your own models up in with card and stuff like that, and you've printed the brickwork out with an ordinary printer, give it a coat of hair lacquer. It seems to do the job and stop it from actually discolouring. Just a little tip. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now and carry on having fun with this campsite, and putting all together all the tiny little pieces that came in that box of campsite stuff that my wife bought me, and make another video on how I've progressed later on. So thanks for watching, and talk to you all again soon, hopefully. Bye for now.
Hello.